Hey guys, it's Henry.
And this is Nelson.
And you're watching Flash 6 Media.
And this is the 2021 Kia K5.
Getting into it, the interior here, I gotta tell you, did not expect it to feel this nice, right? So it's rather spacious. Yeah. The seats are comfortable.
Not bad.
The dash, what about it?
It's nice and far away. I mean, you know, we can touch elbows, but yeah, I mean, we still have our own space on the center rest.
Yeah, it's still a mid-size sedan and everything. Yeah, absolutely.
My knee is touching on this little funky door handle thing that they have. That's not. It's supposed to be what you close the door with.
Never.
Right, which is bizarre. And the center console is not obtrusive at all. It's not
yet, but it favors the driver, right? It has like a barrier here.
Very cockpit-like setting, right?
Yeah, for sure. Great colors. Although they're standard red and white, they're nice and brilliant. The design in the center is really, really good. I mean, it's easy to see. It does have the piano black, but it's predominantly in the entire cluster. So if I were to start touching things, I'm sure it'll get dirty. But for some reason, I actually do like it around the instrument panel itself. It's a nice touch.
But I'm really liking, as you say, the layout, the color's really nice.
Yep.
It's clean. It looks upscale. Steering wheel is, obviously not leather. It's plasticky, but it looks upscale.
Yes.
Nice setup. The buttons are all nicely placed.
Yeah, the buttons are in the right position, and they make a lot of sense. You have your phone answering, receiving, and even initiating voice control on the left-hand side. Cruise control, everything is nice and clear on the right hand as well. It's not a lot of frills, I'll say that. So it's not distracting. Everything is right where I need it to be. And ultimately in this car, I'm here to drive. I mean, we've spoken about how they give you a lot for it being a base. And it even makes sense for where everything is, how it's laid out, where it's placed. It works.
You got little aluminum trim on the buttons on the door.
Yep.
Little upscale feel.
Yep.
Push button start. That's huge.
Yep, absolutely.
You have brush metal looking on everything on the grill, including on your vents here.
Yep.
You got a nicely integrated hazard button, which is really cool.
Yep. The climate control looks actually a little bit more modern than what I would expect. Good feel on the knobs, nice and textured. All the buttons are in the right place. Good information as far as how strong it is. And right now it is about 90 or so, 93 degrees outside right now.
Very hot.
We've been in a few cars, and this one so far has had the best AC.
The best AC.
So
the entertainment stack here. Now this is the base, so you get the smaller 8-inch screen.
Yeah.
But I noticed right off the bat, all your buttons are easy. You got radio, media, a programmable button there. You got your go back, go forward buttons here, a setup button, so obviously goes into the settings.
Yep.
And for your important stuff, you got volume knob and you got a scroll knob as well as the seat button. So really cool. Nicely laid out.
Yep.
Good job, Kia.
Standard shifter, hit the button, pull it back.
Well, it doesn't have paddles.
Right, no paddle shifting, so you get the Triptronic, you can put it in drive, and you can actually put it in quasi-manual.
Right, but you get an actual transmission in this guy, which is pretty cool. Beats the CVT any day of the week.
Cup holders, obviously good size. I mean, these are all about the creature comfort. Now, it do get us option on drive modes, which we've spoken about before. You actually integrate with the knob right here, and it's a little out of the way.
But spatially, that's actually kind of cool because, if your arm is here on the armrest, you can make your setting changes right there.
Right.
Very simple. You got an auto hold, which is cool. When your foot is all the way down on the brake, it holds the brake. You got electronic park brake. You got some slots here for change or your phone. This doesn't have the wireless drop-in panel like the other, but you still have space for your phone here.
There's a lot of space.
A 12-volt plug. You got a couple of USB chargers here.
USB 3.
USB 3. And wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Like we said, this is a base model. Here, you get it on the base, wireless, not plugging in, wireless. It's a bigger deal than you think, guys. Needless to say, I mean, it's a Kia, but it's a Kia. It's more on the surprising side than on the disappointing side of it.
Let's take it out for a drive, see what you think on the driving impression.
Now, the big screen utilizes that massive screen for the reverse camera. I mean, it is very clear and obvious. Obviously, a lot of nice warnings come in.
You just got rear traffic. You just got rear cross alert traffic.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That is insane.
Yeah, and confident.
My $40,000 car doesn't have that. Shame on them.
Shame on them. and intervenes.
It actually stopped.
It stopped me.
Wow.
It's a little sensitive. I'll give it that. It's a little sensitive.
Man, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck on this. We're gonna give it a bit of taste of the road and see what it feels like out on the road.
It maneuvers rather well. I mean, it's very direct driving. It doesn't feel overpowered or underpowered. It's very well balanced in my opinion as far as the steering is concerned. It's a 4-cylinder with a turbo. She feels faster. She actually feels rather quick, and maybe it's how they distribute that power.
It's tuned pretty nicely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty glad that our channel's decided to go the route of looking at things that are more in the affordable car range, the everyday drivers.
Yes.
You know, it's nice to test expensive cars and all the fun and the fast stuff, but there's value in you know, the everyday type cars. You know?
Especially a Kia, right? One of the things is we know very well that brand has been doing everything in its power to change the persona that it's established years ago, and honestly it's a little unfair. A lot of brands have changed, technology has helped a lot, and the way they're doing it here is throwing more technology in the right places in the right ways, right?
All their tech right now, Kia's across the board, on there as well.
Yep.
Best in class.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna get into the driver's seat. Okay, shifting into drive.
Yep.
And here we go. Wow, pretty good push on the acceleration for a 4-cylinder. There's no loss of that on-center feel, because it is a big car for a base sedan. It's a long car, and it's not vague at all. The steering it feels direct. Yeah.
I called it.
So it's pretty sporty looking.
Yep, and aggressive.
And pretty aggressive looking. Yeah, I was looking at it in my rearview mirror while you were literally doing the Jersey thing and tailgating.
Yeah.
And it looked pretty good in the rear view.
I noticed the confidence in it and the maneuverability just by taking right-hand turns like this.
Yeah, it's
got a pretty tight turn radius.
Yeah, tight turn radius. It never feels vague. That's a big plus. That's something BMWs usually achieve really well.
Right.
This is doing it.
Throwing a lot of weight around and making it feel smaller.
Yeah, and making it feel smaller. Brakes are excellent. The modulation is excellent. Not too much of a push. They're a little bit boosted. You can feel it. It kind of gives you that little bit extra when you step on it, but it's not overly done. It pushes you through nicely. Mm-hmm. All right, so this is where I'm going to give it a little bit extra and see what it feels like. Okay, here we go on the turns. Look at this guy go.
One thing that I'll say, as good as they are, a lot of the driver aids, not just in this car, but in many brands, are a little overdone. Yeah. And we understand the why. So you can just, you know, tune them down a little bit. In many instances, people are turning them off. I'm not a fan of turning them off completely. They're there for a reason. The one thing that this car, one of the things it doesn't have is the interior blind spot warning. We all know how I am not a fan. I am not a fan of the one that is on the actual side view mirror, but it is what it is.
Major likes.
The maneuverability. I do like the way it handles. The spread, as far as where all the things are in the cluster, it actually reminds me a little bit more of a current Volkswagen Jetta. Lots of space. Right. Ultimately, I'm all about the interior in many cars, and I'm looking for the buttons and what it brings to the table. But here, I can say that the drive is what's got me.
Yeah, it drives really well. Honestly, yeah, I have to agree with you. The major likes for me are definitely the handling. Big kudos on this interior. This interior is really well done. If I had to say I had any dislikes at all, I would say probably the shape of the shifter here, and that's as petty as I'll go. Okay. Really like the visibility also. Visibility, there's like nothing feels lost at all around the body of the car, and I thought the back shape would be an issue, but it actually feels really well set up. You got great visibility in every angle in this car. So love it. Good job on this Kia LX all-wheel drive.
But if you're not trying to drop a big dollar or anything on a car and you want all the comforts that a lot of the brands are, in many instances like Apple CarPlay, just starting to introduce, this would be just fine.
More than enough. This is Nelson.
And Henry.